Quick Slant. It's presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Around here, we Honda.
Well, we got a primetime faceplant by the New England Patriots. After 7 games in a row of impressive work, things didn't go so good against the Indianapolis Colts, but there is so much football left to watch, and there's plenty of quick slants, too. We got about 21 minutes of fun and entertainment. Here's what's coming at you over the next 22 minutes or so. The game plan is presented by Shaw's, perfecting the art of fresh, critical response. Bills do. Kyle Van Noy is going to join us, as he always does, to give us the skinny from inside the locker room, and we will have the MEG-A-HOT-TAKE. But before we get to all that, let me hit you with my slant. As I referenced earlier, so that happened. It was a faceplant. It was a toe stub. And it was their latest, biggest game of the year. And there have been a few of those. But after being the smartest, most consistent, trustworthy, brave, loyal, dependable team, really in all the NFL over the last 2 months, Patriots slept through their alarm. There's no other way around it. There's no other way to describe it. It wasn't just the penalties. It was the timing of the penalties. It was the nature of the penalties. Unforced errors, mental mistakes, jumping off sides on field goals, allowing 3 points to go up on the board after you nullified their 3 points with a miss. For the first 35 minutes or so, the Patriots acted like it was, we didn't know it was going to be that kind of party. Well, the only thing that matters now is the response. We could say that they will be on their details, because that's how the Patriots generally have been through the years. They're going to see the Bills, and we presume that they're going to bounce back. But remember this, there are so many players who are new to this team, quarterback included. The strong safety, Kyle Duggar. The running back, Ramondre Stevens. Okay? All of these players, we could add Matt Judon and everybody else. And now they're going right back into the octagon against a team that got pantsed by the Patriots in the same way the Patriots got pantsed by the Colts. It's going to be sticky. But this is good. This is rich. We don't know what's going to happen next. And Meg, that's what makes it so fascinating.
It is good. It's
a good
fun.
year. It's a good year.
This is the way to put what happened the other night. We talked about it last week. It was a case of identity theft. They stole your username, your password. They stole your mother's maiden name. Because what did they do in that game? Jonathan Taylor ran it for 170 yards. They shoved their run game down your throat the same way you try to get your dog to take a pill. Shove it down there with maybe a little bit of peanut butter.
It was like the Step Brothers thing where they...
Right in the dirt. Shoved your face in the snow like a bad snowball fight. So my question to you is, coming off of that, with Damian Harris hopefully coming back this week, he's not the only key to the game coming up against the Bills. What else do you have to do to overcome this and really make a statement against the Bills after that faceplant?
It's a great question, because the reason the Patriots lost wasn't because they weren't able to run the ball, although that was part of it. It wasn't because Mac Jones started flat. It's because they were unfocused. They made mental errors. They got behind the sticks, and that led to the mistakes. So when we look at all of that, you simply have to approach it. And I hate to say this, because I've always hated the notion of the other team just wanted it more.
Say it. The effort, it did not feel like the effort
and the focus
there.
wasn't there. But like when we talk about, the coaches didn't have them ready. You're a professional athlete. Many of you are making tens of thousands of dollars per game when you get on the field. You need to be ready on your own. It's not just the coaches. And I think that these players, the Patriots, in this instance, weren't ready after 2 months of being primed and ready and having that 2-4 attitude that Kyle Van Noy has referenced. We're going to ask him about that when we get him in here. But to me, it's simply match the intensity that the Bills are going to bring, because the Bills got shamed too. When you got two teams that got shamed, Meg, that's like two negatives banging together. Does it make a positive, or what's going to happen?
I don't know. Is that physics or chemistry that we're talking about there? Atoms going off?
Right here.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it's going to be good.
Somebody else can weigh in. Let's see what, you put a poll out there.
I sure did.
Let's see what they said. Time now for From the Stands. And Tom, your poll results are brought to you by your New England Ford dealers at Ford Truck's official truck of the NFL.
And it was very simple. Patriots laid a giant egg in the first half against Indy. Your reaction to this development: we had 3,944 people jumping on. A slip up, it ain't no thing. 48% of you. I'm just enjoying the ride. Whee! 45% of you just having a good time. I now have reservations. 19% and 8% but 90% of the people in my Twitter mentions, they got exposed.
They're the vocal minority. They always are. Steve says there was no actual moment when the Patriots were the best team in the AFC. This has been a successful season, but expectations got out of hand after the winning streak. What they do after the train was derailed will tell us more about this team than anything else.
You know what, Steve, very cogent, literate response. I do think that they were not the best team in the AFC on paper, but the most consistent.
Well, they did have the #1 seed. Let's not pretend like that wasn't a fact.
Go ahead.
Neil here says, I wouldn't say exposed because they pretty much beat themselves, dropped interceptions, lost 10 points on special teams, 2 interceptions, several critical penalties,
We could easily
etc.
find like 23 points that were given away.
You can do that in many games, though. I mean, there's
This one
always these
especially.
kinds of arguments. Okay. Mr. Tibbs says, who seriously thought this edition of the Patriots would even win 9 games after watching the first 3 to 4? With the rookie QB starting and an overhauled roster, this is all gravy.
Tibbsy.
Let's just enjoy the ride.
Tibbsy is, I don't want to make it sound like, hey, I knew they were going to be good. I think a lot of us felt they were. But when the team started the way they did, when they lost to New Orleans, when they didn't look so hot against Houston, Houston was really, for me, the nadir. When they got down 22-9 against Houston, I go, this is not gonna be a
What
good
are
year.
we watching?
Right.
It was alarming. It was like, wait. We went into training camp, we went through the summer thinking that this team was a certain kind of team, and that was really the only point where you felt doubts.
Yeah, so Tibbsy, I'm with you at that juncture, but once they started to fix the small and individual problems, ball control, penalties, one laps on defense by one guy when 10 others were doing the right thing, once they started fixing that, they were rolling. But it was on the details, it was the attention, it was the penalties the other night. And if they get that rectified, I think they're going to be good on Sunday.
So we're basically saying here, Saturday was a case of head in the clouds.
100%.
Little distracted, little out to lunch.
Slept through the alarm. All right. Coming up after the break, Kyle Van Noy, number 53. He's going to explain to us what in God's name happened out there. Stay tuned. Growth potential. Here's your AFC playoff picture suddenly. Okay. Not a dire circumstance. You flashed that at me in September. I'd say, you kidding? That's awesome. So let's not flip out, all right? Brought to you by Dr. LaPresti and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates. You call 1-800-GET-HAIR. They're going to fix up your bald spot. Or even if it's worse, they can do a full renovation of your scalp. Kyle, we talked many times, and you cited the notion of a 2-4 mentality. Even when the team was winning games, you were going to bring that edge and focus like we're 2-4, we're backed into a corner. And you did a great job of it. Did you feel as if that 2-4 mentality might have flipped to a 4-2 mentality on Saturday night?
You could argue that. We didn't come out the way we wanted to, and we're so excited for this next challenge. The Colts game, that's behind us. It is what it is. We're so focused and need to be focused on the Buffalo Bills. They did everything they could with Carolina. They did their thing. They're going to come in hot and ready, and we got to bring this energy. We got to prepare hard. We got to have a good week of practice, and then we got to be ready to go. From the first snap to the last snap, all 60 minutes, we need to play Patriot football, and we gotta go. This is what it's all about. 1 o'clock, let's go.
We gotta go. You know, it's funny. Sometimes people will say, well, maybe they needed that. And I can't ever imagine that a team needs it. But when you show up and the other team is playing at a pitch that you didn't match, does it remind you? Can there be a positive to take from okay, that reminds us the agitation level and urgency we need to show?
Yeah, getting a dose of humble pie every once in a while. But I think something that obviously when you lose, it sucks and it's not fun. But I think it was encouraging that we didn't give up. Down 20, come all the way back, make it a competitive game at the end. And unfortunately, we didn't get the job done. And there was a lot of reasons why those stops all the way to that last touchdown occurred. But disappointing, and we're ready to go against Buffalo. But we got to get a good week of practice. Like I said, It starts there. It starts with the hard work in the week, and then to show it on Sunday.
Did you have a sense, and I do want to flip into this week, I know that you don't want to beat a dead horse with last week, but did you have a sense, Mac Jones alluded to a little bit, hey, it wasn't a great week of practice. Did you feel that way as well?
If that's what Mac said, that's what he said. So I'm going to just go whatever he said.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You talked about the fact that the Buffalo Bills, you guys have urgency. The Bills are going to have urgency because you did to the Bills what the Colts kind of did to you guys. Do you love these rivalry games, playing in the AFC East? You came over from Detroit, and you've been part of this for now 6 or 7 seasons, actually. 6, whatever. But this rivalry stuff, this interplay, do you look forward to the fact that it's going to be ratcheted up and you're really playing for first place in many ways?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a chance to stay atop of the division and win the AFC East, obviously I don't know if we're clinching it this week, but just how big this game is and the last 2 games are, to be able to, have your hat and T-shirt is a big accomplishment. It goes through all the hard work that you started back in the summertime and the springtime, and then through training camp and then through the season. So it's a lot on the line. I can't wait for Pats Nation to be loud. We're very excited to play at home with everything on the line. It's going to be a beautiful sight. I'm excited. I'm just ready to go. I got a bad taste in my mouth after Sunday, and I just want to get back on the field and show that we can play at a high level.
Obviously, you've been playing a long time. Thanksgiving and Christmas are going to arrive every single year during football season. How do you negotiate still having time with your family, enjoying the holiday, being present for that, but also maintaining the edge that you need so that there's no distraction from the job that you guys have to do as well?
Yeah, I can only speak for myself, but since my family's been in the NFL for a while now, I think they understand that more of the focus needs to go to football and a little bit of the family, of course. I'm not saying that I don't celebrate Christmas, because I definitely do. It's my favorite holiday. I'm going to enjoy the time that I have with my family, but at the same time, I want to win. And my family is all about winning, and we have an off season where we get to spend time together, and we'll definitely have Christmas when I'm done playing the game. But they do whatever they can to help me prepare and get ready for Sunday during Thanksgiving. And I've played Thanksgiving in my career and during Christmas. So it's something that everyone has to sacrifice, but there's a blessing in it as well. You get a win on those holidays. It's fun.
It's so much sweeter.
Everybody's all on board.
I think I hear our guy Trey in the background. He's got high urgency for this game too. He's just talking.
I know he's ready to go. We've been running routes already. We've been doing pursuit drills in the kitchen. We're ready to go over here.
Hey, a little fun one for you. What is the most memorable Christmas gift you ever got?
I think it was. I'm not a big fishing guy. I don't really enjoy fishing. It's not my cup of tea. I rather chill on a beach. But my grandparents one time got me a fishing hat and some toilet paper.
Hey, what are you going to do? I put you on the spot. You did the best you could. Fishing hat and toilet paper. I would remember
that. What about you?
Well. You know what? I'm glad you asked, because it's always about me. When I was in 2nd grade, we had a beagle. His name was Bo also. He was such a pain in the posterior for my parents that they brought him back to the pound. It was a different time in the world, 1974. You did that if the dog wasn't participating well. All I wanted for Christmas was Bo back. Christmas morning, they went and they had gotten Bo, and when I came down the stairs, Bo was back in town.
Let's go.
We're talking, Bo's back. And he was still absolutely one brutal beagle for my parents for the next few years.
Nice.
Hey, last question. Bill Belichick offered up an apology to the media for being a little bit short after Saturday night's game. First of all, hats off to him.
Yeah,
but
that's respectable, right?
but he wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, I mean, good for you guys, right?
Amen. Has he ever come in and said, guys, I was a little hard on you. I just want to let you know I feel bad about that?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Buddy, have a great week of preparation. Have a great holiday, and good luck on Sunday.
Yes. Happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to the camera crew. Happy holidays to our producer. And happy holidays to Pats Nation. We love you guys.
All right.
Wouldn't be here without you guys. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Thanks for all you do for us here. All right. Coming up after the break, we got the MEG-A-HOT-TAKE and ongoing coverage of the Bill Belichick apology. Live round-the-clock coverage of Bill Belichick saying, sorry about that. MEG-A-HOT-TAKE.
Guys,
What?
I don't like talking about COVID. I've been reporting about it for 2 years, and you probably don't want to hear about COVID anymore. But recent events have made it impossible to ignore. You can't even play fantasy football as an escape from this virus, so I'm just going to say this as my hot take this week. Close Twitter, get off Facebook, Instagram, Reddit. Sports reporters, football coaches, TV personalities, barbers, attorneys, pastry chefs, these are not good sources of medical advice. We are lucky to live in a region with some of the best medical professionals in the world. There's too much noise out there right now. Let's all be quiet down a little bit so we can hear what they have to say, and hopefully spend this time of year watching meaningful and memorable football. That's all I got to say about that.
Come on, I like to be an armchair epidemiologist.
We've got really good epidemiologists. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they are good.
I think we're all getting a little stressed out because of the constant cycle of news and rumor and everything. Let's just quiet down for a minute.
But I think I'm now equipped with enough information after 20 months where I can just lodge any kind of opinion at any time. So, yeah, take your own advice. I'll be out there at all times just dispensing. I'm a data-driven guy.
All right, my keyboard warrior. Time now for Quickfire, presented by your local New England Honda dealers, featuring the rugged all-wheel drive pilot gets around here, we Honda. And we accept apologies from the greatest coach in the NFL. Let's hear one from Bill Belichick.
Look, fellas, I apologize if, it seemed like I was a little short with you after the game. Obviously a frustrating game. Down 20-0, didn't do anything well enough. I mean, there isn't really much to say at that point. Not really trying to be short, but honestly, there wasn't too much to say. I don't know that there's a whole lot more to say now, but it's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Not your fault.
His
You know
bad.
what?
That was weird.
A couple of things. Well, first off, Phil Perry asked the lion's share of the questions in that. And Phil and Bill have a pretty good relationship. Phil works hard, Bill respects that, so maybe he's felt bad about peeing on Phil's head a couple times. But furthering, there is absolutely no way that Bill Belichick was told by anyone to go out there and apologize. When we look at Bill Belichick now, and I know that the general knee-jerk reaction is that he's a curmudgeonly guy, and he generally is, but he's been pretty good with the media really since COVID began. I think he's got a higher level of respect and patience for us. Gets pissed at some guys sometimes. But generally speaking, he's been pretty good. So I think all of that was genuine. Appreciate that he did that. But the notion that somebody at the point of a bayonet told him to friggin' come on. What are we doing?
Look, it was a terrible loss. I don't think it was in any way a scheduled loss,
We've
loss
seen
that
him
he
worse.
saw coming. We've seen him be a lot nastier with much less reasoning behind it. So
Agreed.
let bygones be bygones. It's all.
Do what?
Bygones be bygones.
Okay.
There were too many B's in that sentence. Let's move on to Jumping Josh. Will McDaniels fly the coop?
It's going to be interesting to watch this unfold because right now we have the Raiders and the Jaguars open. Could be the Bears, could be the Panthers, could be, help me out here, Giants maybe. Could be as many as 6 to 8 openings. But what I'm sensing is Josh McDaniels right now, because of the situation here in New England, doesn't necessarily have to go from the comfort of this living room, feet kicked up, running a team with a head coach who, while Josh wants to be a head coach as well, he still feels very comfortable working alongside Bill Belichick.
Well, and let's not forget that he has the rookie quarterback who's performing the best out of his class, even though he wasn't the #1 pick, and that's going to be hard for him, I would imagine, to leave on.
It has made a massive impact on his decision-making, I think. Also, unless some of these owners show a better comprehensive plan to getting their teams better, why jump from a place that's doing it right?
Well, I just mentioned that guy, so let's move on to For Better or Worse and talk about Mac Jones's performance on Sunday, for our Saturday night. For at least the first half, he looked the most like a rookie that he's looked the whole season.
Yeah, it's the first time that he has had his fingerprints all over a loss. And while it's great that he helped the Patriots almost get out of the hole, he was instrumental in digging it. So giving him a C-.
He had that
C+.
shovel out. He was digging them down.
Stop digging.
All right, let's hear from Bruce Arians about the latest with what's going on down in Tampa Bay.
Didn't get much of a chance to dive into this yesterday, but you did bring back Antonio Brown after saying that he screws up one time and he's done. So what made you decide to give him another chance?
Well, the history has changed since that statement.
Has it?
I mean, the history, does the history change? The stories change. Either way, let's be honest. Talent wins out. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need Antonio Brown desperately, especially with Mike Evans dinged up, Chris Godwin gone for the season, and everything else that is laid at their feet. So you make a deal with the devil, and in many ways, Antonio Brown is a little bit of a receiving devil. And then you see how it works out, right, Mego?
He's a highly complicated receiver, but a huge talent. So, I don't know what we expected, like they were going to let that guy go.
That's a diplomatic way of putting it. Highly complicated. See you guys.